What it did, what it doing, what it does, what's going on? This is your boy, The Sound of the Rain, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of The Sound of the Rain podcast. I am your host, The Sound of the Rain, and you are listening to the podcast where you're following the journey of a man going from making music in his bedroom to becoming the owner of a multi-million-dollar corporation called The Sound of the Rain. So first off, I want to just take the time to say thank you to everybody that has been showing support to the show. I truly appreciate it. We're definitely seeing some growth. We've got listeners now in Puerto Rico, Sweden, and the United States. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to my homie from Sweden. Talking to you on Instagram. Much love. I truly appreciate the support. He's been very supportive, leaving reviews, interacting, in the polls and things of that nature. Definitely appreciate that. So today's episode, well, first off, I want to kind of get to some updates regarding the brand. This one's going to be funny. By the way, this is episode number 7, and the title of this episode is Consisting of Consistency. Or Consisting of Consistence. Whatever you see the title of it, when you click on it to watch it or listen to it, that's what the name of it is. But it's going to be something along those lines. So I got my update from Apple Music regarding my streams, and let me see. It is, I'm just trying to get the dates. From January 20th to the 26th. And we had the pleasure and the honor of having 2 plays. Yo, I mean, it is what it is. It was just funny seeing it because I was like, last time I was talking about how I had 37, and so I was wondering if the show was contributing to the growth or the recent uptick in music, and maybe it wasn't. I don't know, but I had 2 streams, both from Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to Charlotte. I appreciate the support. It was Master Flow and Who's the Man. And so definitely thank you so much. There's going to be a lot of music coming out this year from Sound of the Rain. That's really part of my goal coming into 2023 was to put out music. Like that was a goal for the brand. I gave myself a 3-year plan, and this is year 2, and just putting out music consistently. I plan to have a lot of music. Matter of fact, if you follow me on social media, I just announced this on Facebook and on Instagram, but Brainstorm can very likely realistically be available in April, maybe even March. But I'm on a really good stride right now. I'm not going crazy trying to be perfect or perfected. I'm using some material that I've had I was kind of sitting on that I hadn't put out. And like, you know what? I can put this out and this can be part of the album, and it's probably going to be longer than an EP, but it's just going to be an opportunity to display my creativity and to display my lyrical skills, and also my production. I forgot. As of now, I'm producing everything on there. It's really, I think my second project, or if I do another project, which I probably will, I think that'll open the door more so for collaborations and stuff like that with other artists and things of that nature. But this one is gonna kind of be all me because I want to be able to wear it, whether it fails, whether it succeeds. I want to be able to take all of that. So yeah, definitely look out for that. Like I said, realistically, March or April. I would say April, just to kind of give myself some more time to really nail it down. The YouTube channel rebranding. So I had talked about that on a previous episode, and I went back and I actually been looking at a bunch of my old videos from YouTube, and there were actually some when Roberto Blake had first kind of put in my ear the idea of doing building in public for making music. I started making videos with that, behind that, and it didn't seem like it at the time, but they were doing really good. I mean, like 50 something views, 20 something views, and it was the content that I wanted to make. People leaving comments like, wow, I'm enjoying this journey. I look forward to seeing more. And all I needed to do was continue to make those. And I didn't, because I felt like at the time 20 or 50 views was like a failure. But now in retrospect, as I've been posting episodes on my podcast on YouTube, they're falling dead. Like no one is listening to them. It's funny, the most recent episode I put up, it had like 9, I want to say 9. At this moment, it probably got like 11 views, and the duration of people watching is like not even a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like they're probably listening to the intro music and they're like turning it off. Versus when I was doing those videos, I would say about 30 to 40% of the viewers were watching the entire thing. I was getting interaction. I was getting views. You know, and matter of fact, this kind of goes in tune with the topic of the episode. So I should have been consistent as far as continuing to do that same type of material, that same type of content, you know. But like I said, there I go looking at the numbers and thinking it wasn't successful. But lesson learned. So yeah, I was going back, and I'm gonna put a link in the show notes to one particular episode. There was one called "Am I a Rapper?" But that was like the epitome, or that was pretty much an example of what the show is gonna look like, or the YouTube channel looks like. It's gonna look like moving forward as far as the branding. If y'all hear a bunch of noise in the background, I don't know if you'll be able to, because of the music playing, but that's my kids back there having some fun. But also I was looking at on the channel the bone content I was making. Now I remember previously I talked about how, you know, I was gonna make less content, you know, that was focused or surrounded on bone, because I, you know, the whole purpose of my channel was Sound of the Rain, and I didn't want to make a bone channel. But then I was looking back at some of my old videos, and I really, really enjoyed those and was really having fun. And what I love about the internet is that it opens up an opportunity for you to speak with and interact with people that you have things in common with that you might not be able to in real life. Because coming up, there wasn't really anybody that, you know, was into bone like I was. And when I say I was into Bone Thugs, I was like hardcore. Like that was my favorite thing, you know. And so, you know, being able to make this content, it's actually genuinely fun, especially the ones where I do the just vibe, where I'm sitting there listening to a song and quote unquote reacting to it. You know, not doing like the fake reactions. Like I can't stand some of these reaction videos because they're so fake. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen one. If you in your 30s and you're a hip hop fan and you've never heard Notorious Thugs and you're reacting to it for the first time, you're lying. You know, I mean, just let's keep it real. So I would put these videos out and I would say that, you know, these aren't my first time hearing these songs. I've heard these songs before. I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to react. You know, the one I did for If I Could Teach the World, that one was fun. The one I did for Just Vibe, all of them were fun. Matter of fact, I had a request for one to do the original Crossroads, and I'm going to do that. You know, because I told the person that I would, and then they've been showing the channel mad love. But, you know, I almost wished I had created a separate channel just for Bone. You know, maybe I could do that. Or even another Instagram account, because I was putting a lot of Bone stuff on my IG, and it was just like, you know, people were loving it and interacting with it. But I was at the point where I was like, you know what? I got to get on top of, you know, Sound of the Rain, you know. So putting this effort into my brand. And I think for me, man, you know, and as far as like me putting up the Bone stuff, it's just, I just felt like they're like so underrated. You ever had like somebody that you just feel like, yo, this person's amazing, but like everybody overlooks it and doesn't give them their props or show them love? That's exactly how I feel. You know, I could sit in a room full of 50 hip hop historians and we could all debate. They could bring up Nas, Jay-Z, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Big L, Big Pun, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Corrupt, Crooked I, and I could sit there and debate with them and tell them why Crazy Bone is the greatest artist ever, and have, you know, proof and be able to cite lyrics and verses and things that people haven't heard, you know, not just stuff from singles and stuff, but, you know, so that's the Bone love. But I definitely plan on getting, you know, back into some more Bone stuff, maybe doing like a 50-50 thing to where it's split down the middle, you know, Sound of the Rain stuff, Bone stuff, or, you know, maybe like 75-25, because this, I still get people constantly subscribing to my channel off the Bone content. Like I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, and it's insane. Because this is kind of also the heart behind this episode. I'm going to talk about the importance of being consistent and pretty much encouraging myself to be consistent. So if you guys have been listening, you know that on February 8th, or if you follow me on my social medias, on February 18th, I'll be putting out a song called I Need a Little Help. And this song is inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. And I've been working on the song. Initially, I'm going to be totally honest with y'all, I thought the beat was whack. And so what I had wrote to it, I was feeling, and then I was listening to the beat. It sounded empty. You know, it just had like this, you know, it had some basic aspects to it, but there was just an emptiness to it. And so I kept working on it and putting in work. And now the beat is fire. Like, to me it's fire. Like, to where I just sit and listen to it. You know, y'all might not feel the same way, but, you know, this goes along with the episode, to making music for my audience or myself. But so I listened to the beat, and it's a lot better now, and I'm very excited to record the song. You know, matter of fact, I'll probably be getting that done this week, so I can go ahead and get it submitted to DistroKid so that it's available in stores on the 18th of February. And I was thinking about how when I did Who's the Man, how I was discouraged when I put that out and it didn't do what I wanted. I worked really hard on the song. I worked really hard on the marketing. I pushed it, and I felt that it was a dud. Now, it's one of my best viewed videos as far as like my music and my content that's on my channel. It's got almost 500 views, which is really good, you know, especially considering at the time the amount of subscribers that I had. So what I'm saying in this episode is that even if when I do I Need a Little Help, if it doesn't pop off like I would want it to, I'm going to stay consistent. You know, I might put this song out, love it, have this energy behind it, and I get like 20 views tops, and that's it. You know, and that's discouraging, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on making songs. Whenever I find out the next MCU movie coming out, or the next, you know, I definitely plan on doing a song about The Last of Us, the television show. Maybe I can have it premiere around the time of the last episode. That'll be kind of a monumental time for that series, and it'll, you know, probably be a trending topic. So yeah, definitely do that. But you know, I'm going to keep doing that. You know, The Last of Us, Thunderbolts, any other, you know, movie or cartoon or, you know, things that I have ideas for, I'm going to keep doing it, you know, because when you're working on something, sometimes people might not see the first wave. Like say I'm stuck in the woods, right? And, you know, I'm needing help. And so I have a flare gun, and I shoot a flare in the air, and nobody sees it, you know. And am I gonna give up? You know, what if the time that I decided to give up and stop shooting flares in the air is when somebody was actually within the vicinity to be able to see it and come give me a help and come give me assistance, you know? So I Need a Little Help, does what it does. I do another song, I do another song, I do another song, I do another song. And then as I continue to do these songs, I get better at promoting them, I get better at marketing them. And then as I'm building up this library and this catalog, once people hear it, or once people discover me, they can go back and listen to all these old songs and these other songs like, whoa, man, this dude had a song about Ant-Man or this, you know. And then once Ant-Man comes to home video, that's another opportunity for me to market it, because it will become something that's a popular topic. You know, hey, Ant-Man and the Wasp is available on Disney plus streaming, blah, blah, blah. I kick up the marketing for it again, and it's another opportunity for me to build my audience. Anything, I'm building this brand one brick by brick at a time, one person at a time. So any opportunity I get for just one listener, then that's somebody I'm going to snatch up and I'm going to show my stuff to, because I'm looking to build a group of supporters, people that will support me, 1,000 strong, hopefully at some point 10,000 strong, 10,000 people that would spend $100 a year with me. Let's see how much money that is. What's 10,000 times 100? Okay, so that's $1 million. So if I get 10,000 people to spend $100 a month with me, not $100 a month, $100 a year with me, that's $1 million. That's $1 million in a year. Now, so you got people out here chasing, I want to be on a record label, I want to get signed, they sell 10,000 albums in a week and they think it's a flop. Think about this, 10,000 people, I sell an album to them. I sell merch, I sell shirts, I do live performances, I do custom songs. There's so many things that I could do to create opportunities for them to spend money with me, and that's going to be the goal. So sometimes it's not about getting signed. I'm talking about me, and I'm speaking for myself. I'm not trying to necessarily have some big famous career out there. If I can find a good 1,000, 10,000 people that rock with Sound of the Rain and don't nobody else know, I'm in a neighborhood and I'm rolling out my trash can and my neighbors are none the wiser. What does Jonathan do? What kind of work does he do? I'm not sure. It's just like that's my goal. I'm very low key. I'm very private. I'm an introvert. I don't like going out getting into a bunch of stuff. I just want to stay at home and spend time with my family. And make music. But yeah. So it's a matter of me being consistent. Despite the response, despite the circumstances. If somebody starts going to the gym, they say it takes 4 weeks or 8 weeks for you to see a difference. So imagine that. You got to go into it blind for 2 months. You're exercising, you're working out, like matter of fact, I'll talk for myself. Recently, I've removed sugar from my diet, and so I'm already starting to notice changes within my body. I notice my skin getting clearer and my skin getting smoother. And as you begin to see results, it begins to encourage you to want to keep on striving and keep on pushing. But it's something, sometimes you're not going to see those results, and you got to do it blindly, and you got to keep pushing, and you got to keep moving, and you got to keep, you're in the gym 1 week, you're in the gym the second week, you're in the gym the third week, you're in the gym the fourth week, and you're going to notice yourself starting to get stronger and stronger. And then after a while, others are going to be able to see it. They might not notice it. You're going to notice yourself getting stronger and having a lot more energy and being able to move around more. And it's going to be the same with my music. I put out, I Need a Little Help. It gets 20 views in 1 week. I put out another song. It gets 25 views in 1 week. I put out another song. It gets 40 views in 1 week. I put out another song. It gets 100. You know what I'm saying? You see the progress? It's about growing and respecting the process and not trying to rush it. Continuing to be consistent, continuing to grow, and continuing to improve, continuing to learn. I remember when I first started this journey years ago when I did my song called The Prelude. That was the very first song I put out about 7 years ago. And that song, I see the growth from that song to my new stuff, like if I listen to it, even sonically. And I love that song. I wrote it, I produced it. I was working on an album called Dear God, and that was like the lead single. And then I kind of stopped after that. Then I went back at it. And then as far as recently, The Calm, that song I've been pushing to y'all a lot lately, The Calm was the beginning of that. And that was last year, or that was about December of 2021. And I can see the growth in the sound. Like as I was mixing and mastering, that was something I used to like dread doing. but I've gotten so much better at it, to the point where other people have asked me to mix and master their music. You know, that's not something I feel comfortable doing, or, to be honest, have the time to do. But the fact that it's gotten so much better that people appreciate or like or respect the sound of the work that I do means that there's been growth, you know. And so being consistent sometimes requires you to do it blindly and just to keep pushing. Even give yourself a time limit. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, hey, I'm gonna keep pushing for 2 months, you know. And seeing, I'm not gonna be ignorant here and say that seeing results doesn't help, you know, because it does. You know, it encourages you and motivates you to keep pushing, because sometimes just being consistent with no type of result, it hurts, and it's like, what am I doing this for? And that's when you might need to change direction, you know, because you might be consistently doing it wrong, and that's why you're consistently getting bad results. And so it's time to change up your, switch up your game, or switch up your approach, you know. So that's what we're doing. We're working on being consistent here at Sound of the Raign, and I look forward to seeing how, you know, I Need Help does. And I'm really excited for y'all to hear the song. I'm really excited for y'all to hear a lot of the music. You know, it's fun talking about music and talking about the process behind it and talking about the brand, but I want to let y'all hear the music. And I look forward to interacting with my supporters and building a community. You know, that's what the goal of this podcast is. You know, that 10,000 people that I'm looking for, that 1,000 people that I'm looking for, this is the root and this is the foundation of it, you know. And so I'm trying to build that community. And so I appreciate you. You know, if you're listening to this, you know, you're a part of that community. You know, I got some plans for some merch to come out with Brainstorm, maybe even before. I got an idea for a shirt, for a line of shirts, you know. So I'm learning. You know, I don't have all the answers. I go on Google, I find out stuff, I watch YouTube videos, I ask questions. I don't have the money or the time to be able to pay somebody else to do something. A lot of this stuff I've had to do by myself because I didn't have a choice, you know. But I have goals and aspirations and desires, and I'm trying to attain them, you know. And so what I would like to do before we close out the episode, I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't followed me yet on Spotify, please follow me at Sound of the Raign, SoundOfTheRaign. You can follow me on Spotify. You can also subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook. You know, send me a message. Tell me you listen to the show. You know, I would definitely appreciate it. Be sure to check out The Calm. Continue to listen to that if you haven't. And just thank you for listening, and tune into the next episode. Until next time, Sound of the Raign out.